Hey Kings fans, joining Kiss here as the Kings get ready to kick off 2023 with 2 games at home this Friday and Saturday, and it starts tomorrow against the Wenatchee Wild. And right now I'm joined by, he's no longer the newest member of the Kings, but one of the newer members, Adam Mendelson, acquired from Prince George a little over a month ago now. You've been in town for a little bit. How has it been here in Powell River?
It's been great, honestly. It wasn't much of an adjustment coming from PG because kind of similar town, although PG is a bit bigger than Powell River, but community, same type of community, and all the guys are just great, honestly, very welcoming. And yeah, I feel like kind of right into it pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, that's good to hear. And I know when we first acquired you, you know, the one thing that I heard about you was you're fast. You got the wheels out there, and immediately on your first shift, I think that's what I noticed. You were quick taking the puck down the wing. Has that something that's always been a skill of yours?
Yeah, it's always kind of been a skill of mine. I try to always work on it in the summer as well, try to get faster. And you know, I try to use that to my advantage in the games. So yeah, it helps a lot, and I try to get better with it always.
What does it take to be a fast skater out there?
Honestly, I think it's just acceleration. Your acceleration has to be good in your first 3 steps. That's the most crucial, I would say. And also just trying to cross over as much as you can, because that helps you gain a lot of speed also on the ice.
And then since this Kings team has, since you joined this Kings team, I think 3-3 they are, and you know, of course, before you came, the Kings were on the rise. How do you feel about your first 6 games with the Kings team here?
My first 6 games, I felt I fit in kind of well. Honestly, like, everyone here is great, and obviously I feel like I can play with kind of anyone that they have. Everyone's good. So yeah, I felt like my first 6 games were good, but I feel like I could still have some improvements and bring a bit more kind of strength and maybe a bit more offense as well as like defense. Like honestly, I think I can improve on everything pretty much.
And then with this team, as they go into this little homestand here, as they kind of really now in the second half of the season to make a push for the playoffs, what kind of needs to happen going forward for you guys?
I just think we need to be a bit more consistent, a bit more effort, honestly, and then I think we have all the tools to be a great team in this league. So I think just a bit more effort and consistency, then we'll be perfect.
And then tomorrow, you guys are taking on the Wenatchee Wild, and you're one of the 2 players on the team that's actually played Wenatchee this year when you were with Prince George. What do you remember about them?
I remember that they're good. At the time when I played them, they weren't really that successful, but now I know that they picked it up a lot recently. And they're a big team, like fast, very skilled team, and they move the puck very well. So I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think we can play, and we've pre-scouted them a lot, so we know how they're going to play. So we just got to stick to our game plan, and we'll be fine.
And then the Kings making a trade earlier this week. They're brought in Alexei Van Hookachera, who you've known for a really long time. I think since you were 7-8 years old around there. So how exciting was it to hear that he was coming here to Powell River?
Oh, that was great. He actually first texted me when it first happened. I didn't believe him. I had to call him and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a great addition. He's also a great player, great kid. But yeah, I'm super excited to have him. We'll be hanging out together all the time, and yeah, it's a great guy to have on your team as well.
Is it kind of surreal now that your teammates back in Quebec, and now you're here on the other side of the country being teammates?
Oh yeah, it's honestly it still hasn't even really sunk in with me yet. I feel like it's still surreal, honestly, but it's great having him. He's right now I just know what he can bring to this team, and I think he's a great addition. And yeah, it's almost surreal.
Yeah, well, it's been fun watching you, Alex, and looking forward to watching you the rest of the year. And hopefully, your first goal comes very shortly here with the Kings. Thank you very much, Alex, for your time.
Thank you.
Now with forward Anthony Lucarelli. Anthony, this Kings team getting set to kick off 2023 at home, but this Kings team a little bit of a struggle right now coming back from the break. A 4-1 loss against the Grizzlies and a tough 4-2 loss in Alberni on Saturday on New Year's Eve. How would you kind of rate and assess your team's performance in the first 2 games after the break?
Yeah, we had a 9-day break there, so boys were a little rusty, getting their legs back, but at home, I really like us. Our last home games, we've been I think we swept 2 of the last 2, and then we got 2 more at home this week and 2 more next week. So I like our odds. I think we should. I like playing at home.
Yeah, and then playing at home is at the start of the season, this team struggled playing at home. I think lost their first 5-6 games at home, but then that 8-game homestand really turned things around. What kind of changed for this team during that 8-game homestand?
I think everyone's mentality, just trying to win and just get out there. Everyone's working hard. All the lines are working hard, and D stepped up with us big. Our goaltending was good. Everyone just held their line.
And then before the break, you were somebody that really turned it on. You had the two goal games of back-to-back games, and now you've really started to evolve as a very reliable two-way center here with this Kings team. What has changed for you over the last little bit?
Yeah, I had a slow start, injuries and sicknesses, but once since November, I just try to keep going and just persevere through it. Just going out there, playing my game, and good things will happen.
And then you're going against the Wenatchee Wild today, and hopefully you remember this, but you scored your first 2 BCHL goals against the Wenatchee Wild back at the showcase last year, and one of them was pretty nice. What do you remember about that game against Wenatchee and your first 2 goals?
Yeah, I remember PKing, Louis chipped a nice puck, and I just hustled for it and just held the guy off and scored the first one. The second one, I was just point shot, just around the net, just found a way to get in. So yeah, it was a good game. We also won a shootout too, so it was a first win of the year too, so that was a good game.
Yeah, you're definitely looking to capture that same magic here again against the Wild tomorrow. What have you guys done to prep for this Wild team going into it tomorrow night?
Our lines, we're just working hard with our lines in practice, getting used to all our guys where we are. Me, Niles, and Signs just working down low, playing good defense against probably their top line. So hopefully we do good.
Yeah, and they're a team that's like you guys that have been playing better after a slow start to the season. What do you have to be careful with this Wild team?
They got a good top line. I think 15. He's really good NHL pick, so we're gonna watch him out there. But we're a good defensive team, good defensive line, and we can score too, so we should be good.
And then you've been playing a lot with Cam Simons late, and that's really worked out for you guys. Of course, he's starting to pick up the pace. So how has that chemistry worked out between you guys going forward here?
Yeah, it's getting good. We just took a couple months to get used to each other, but now we're just finding each other out there. He works really hard, great in the corners, good around the net. So yeah, I like his game.
Yeah, well, it's been good watching you, and hopefully the more success comes as the Kings take on the Wenatchee Wild tomorrow, Friday, and then they take on the Cowichan Valley Capitals Saturday at the Hat. Both games at 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets online at tickets.powellriverkings.com.